How do I do this? Welcome back, everyone. I'm Erika.
And I'm Sarah. We are the Living Understaffed podcast, the chaos that we can't clock out of. It's been real this week. Erika, how you been, boo-boo?
I also forgot to take my medication today, which
brutal.
Didn't help at all. It took me like an hour to send one email. Partially because I just kept getting dragged and pulled doing a bunch of other things. And we have like a shared calendar, but it's on a colleague, like under her profile, but she's leaving and it like won't let her transfer ownership. Like I've been a secretary. I know how to do that in Outlook. I know how to do that in like every calendar program available. That is like basic knowledge, right? I cannot figure out how to do it. Like I can do it with my calendar. I can do it with her calendar. She cannot like transfer ownership from this calendar, and it's not a Teams anyway. It's a whole thing, and I did not have. I'm like, I have so many things that I have to deal with right now today. It was just a lot of people dropping the ball and then waiting till the very, very last minute and being like, oh yeah, so we didn't do this. Can you help? Sure.
Great.
And there's every office has one of these people, but they were like particularly being like this today. And I don't have to deal with this person that much. But like my job is admin. They don't really care about admin, which is fine, but because of the position they're in, sometimes it can make my life really hard. But also they like to be the person that gets the credit for stuff. Like, oh, I had this idea. That's great, but you didn't do any of the work for the idea. Like, so one of our colleagues is retiring and she is the supervisor of like the admin team. So we were like doing stuff and he's not, but he's definitely like on her like level. So he found, I don't know where he found it. It's just like the mat that goes in the frame.
Like the signature thing? Is that what you're talking
about? No,
like you can write or draw on the outside of it?
Yes.
And then you put a picture in the middle?
Yes. That's all.
Wow.
That's it. And he's like, oh, I had people sign it. And I was like, cool. What are you going to put in it? He's like, oh, I hadn't really thought of that. I was like, do you have a frame to put it in? He's like, no, figured I'd just get one. I'm like, who's going to present this to her? Well, I don't know. I'm at a range tomorrow.
He seems like a real helper. He's got original ideas. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
I want to punch him in the face.
I know.
With a brick.
Also, and like, so it's me and we have a captain and a lieutenant and we're all trying to like figure stuff out. And our supply staff sergeant, who is the best, like she and I get shit done all the time. And she's like, all right, this is what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. We are going to put together like a basket of stuff that she likes that's not necessarily Army related because she doesn't really care about that shit anyway. So we're just going to put it together with all of her favorite things and we're going to give it to her because that's going to be more meaningful. And I was like, you know what? That's great. That is an excellent idea. And we're going to do that.
Love that. Yes.
And I'm like, we figured it out. And all of the men in the office were like, but what? To be fair, the captain and the lieutenant do genuinely have a lot of stuff to do aside from that. And also,
but still,
it was a whole thing and it didn't need to be a whole thing. And I'm just irritated and frustrated. And this is on top of like, I'm trying to get access to stuff before she leaves.
Before she leaves.
Due, and
Yep.
her last day's tomorrow. Anyway, anyway.
What a hot mess.
Hot, steaming mess. But, okay. So I learned this today, very recently. So there's a person that I will give you more details later. But there's a person that I have never really liked, okay? I have not liked this person for like a while. Like, I've always kind of found them annoying. I have actively disliked them for like a year. Like, that's cool. You guys can all be her BFF. I find her obnoxious, and she's just one of those people where, like, she has very strong opinions, but they are always... They're not like steadfast opinions. Like, they're based on like what point she's trying to make or like who she's trying to impress, and I find that really annoying. She also just has to have like the last word. Yes. And then I was talking to one of my friends. It's like, because I'm friends with most of the people in this group still. Like, it wasn't ever really like that deep.
Okay.
And she was talking to me about it. She's like, yeah. So she's really been getting on my nerves. And I was like, yes. Vindicated.
Oh, somebody's on my side.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know that. I know that feeling.
So, is it petty? Absolutely. Do I still...
Duh. Do we care?
No.
No.
I have a dog named Daisy. She's lovely, obviously. We all know Daisy. Smelly and crusty, yet beloved. So, Daisy is...
What does she do?
My familiar. So now, if I am rushed in the morning, she will not poop outside. She's like, nope, I feel rushed, can't do it. And if I leave, like I did this morning, I was like, shit, I have to go. Daisy, like, she peed, she didn't poop, so I was like, whatever, she probably doesn't have to. No, she did. She definitely left a giant pile of shit on the floor for Emma and Selena. And I was like,
turd rocket.
I know. So that means I have to get up extra early so that I can like take her for a walk or let her have like a leisurely stroll around the yard at 7 a.m. Is going for a hot girl walk every morning in nature good for my mental health? Yes, but sometimes I would rather rot on Instagram, and it's kind of rude that I'm being forced to take care of myself.
To be fair, I have seen a lot of fucking people out walking with their phones up like this and walking their dogs. And like, you and I used to FaceTime when you walked your dogs in the morning. That's
true.
I wouldn't mind doing that. I'm fucking at work by the time you're out walking the dog anyway.
That's true.
Or driving to work.
That's true.
I don't think you'd appreciate me calling you that early in the morning, though. Wake up! As you so lovingly called me out in a previous episode saying that I'm not human and because I don't need sleep.
You sleep an upsetting amount. You're like, I slept like 4 hours last night. I gotta sleep in. And I was like, what? I need 9 hours minimum.
I don't know how to do that.
I
will say, give myself a little credit just for 1 second. We had that graduation party on Saturday that I went with the photo booth. I got hired for the photo booth, and it was great. It was really fun. I got home. I went and had fun after said event, and I got home at like midnight, and I laid in bed until 11:30. 11:30. Now I was like listening to a book, and I was in bed by midnight. So I was probably asleep by like maybe 3. Got up at 7, had to pee. I drank some water and I went and laid back down and I started reading and I was I was watching a bit of Netflix and I was petting the cats and I kind of napped for a minute, but I was laying in bed actively from like maybe 12:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. and I didn't even know that it was 11:30. Like I just wasn't looking at the time on the clock on my phone. Jesus Christ. But I do that once in a 10-year span. It's fine.
I don't really sleep in that much. Like I do if I'm really tired, like, or I'll wake up early and I'll just like rot on my phone for several hours. Or I'll just like be half awake and just rolling around. I sleep like a rotisserie chicken. I just roll around all night.
That's fair.
But I also just gave you shit, and now I was like, last Friday, I went to Raleigh, and then at 10 o'clock on my way back to Fayetteville, my friend texted me and was like, hey, like, do you want to go out with me? And I was like, absolutely, I do. So I drove straight to the bar, and then we went out and hung out until after last call, because we talked in the parking lot for a while. So I didn't even get to sleep until like 3:30. And then I woke up on Saturday because at 8 because I had a nail appointment at 10. And then immediately after that, I was driving to Charlotte.
Absolutely.
So, and then I drove to Charlotte and we didn't fall asleep. I think I fell asleep at like midnight or 1 maybe. And then I woke up at like 7. I think I did get decent sleep Monday night, though. No, I didn't. Because I went to bed really late last night, too.
Hi, my name is Meg Blystone. I'm one of the owners of Pulp Fiction Comics and Games in Lee Summit. We sell comic books, graphic novels, all kinds of kids' books and back issues. And then we also support different trading card games, miniature games, role-playing games and books. And we have events pretty much every night of the week. Sundays and Saturdays are our busiest days, so come see us.
You'll appreciate this. I was talking to myself in the car. As one does, I don't want to hear any judgment. And
obviously.
I was talking to myself, and I don't remember what it was, but I was like, I'm really good at setting boundaries. Wait, nope. I've gotten a lot better about I'm so good at that.
I'm like so healed. I actually don't do that at all. Thank you so much. God. Editing that episode alone, I was cackling because I watched you in the video do it again a few times because I was trying to edit it, right? And so I watched you do it over and over again. You literally were like, so I don't really do that. And I'm like, who the fuck are you?
Oh
this person is not Erika. Like,
delusional is what I am.
I laughed.
Oh my God.
My God. Even just editing the episode, I was fucking dying. Wait till all the reels come out, homie.
Oh,
all the reels are fucking gold.
I'm so pleased. Because that whole, like, we didn't have a plan for that episode either. We were just chatting.
Not at all. Honestly, we are, like, listeners. It is a humble brag. It's bragging.
It's a brag. It's
don't get us wrong.
Brag.
Like,
it's a brag.
It is humility. There is humility. There is humility also because hillbilly humility. Say that 5 times fast. No. So listen, we We are good at this. That is a brag. The humble part is that we put a shit ton of work into it. The last year has literally kept me out of so much trouble alone, just with editing or social media posting or communicating with Erika or, hey, let's do this. Or, hey, what about a show? Hey, what about this? Like, she said it before that I don't annoy her, but the number of times that I text her or call her and I'm like, so I thought about something else. What if ... So like, this is such a huge consumption of my free time, of Erika's free time. And it's lovely because it is, quote unquote, a healthy hobby. And it like, I find so much joy from it. I find so much joy. So the fact that we are good at this, we have great chemistry on and off camera. We are fucking good at this. And like, every single time that we're together in person, it's just more and more apparent. And if you look, listeners, apologies in advance. If you're a listener that's been with us since the beginning, I'm so glad we've improved because I'm sure that your ears are much happier now. But like if we have any new listeners, if you go back and listen to our first couple of episodes,
yikes.
We, and it'll improve. It'll continue to improve. We'll continue to adjust and continue to have different catchphrases and different things. And the chemistry will only improve. And I'm just pumped that we're at a point that we are sharing this. We are financially sound enough to keep this hobby going. Even, it's not too terribly expensive, but it's just one of those things that like we have to pour money into it. But we don't care because we're at a point that we have the time, the mental energy somehow, and the space to record and still be friends and not the business part of it doesn't matter. The business part of it is nice. We would love for the podcast to pay for itself. That would be super. It's like $100, $150 a month. That would be awesome.
Yeah. If we could buy
big goal
new laptops, that would be
literally
all we want.
That would be the sweet spot. And big dreams. If we're able to make this into the empire that it can be, at least going in person to a couple of shows like Lit and Libations once or twice a year, hopefully 2 or 3 times a year, but at least for us to like pay to get together a couple times a year, that would be great. And we're doing all of this with little help. We've got great partners in a sense of like Casey Bookbeat is a wonderful nonprofit that if you haven't looked into them yet, you absolutely should. We have affiliations with Primal Queen and Everyday Dose Mushroom Coffee and Forever and Lish Bliss's Eternally Soulful Healing business. Like we have a lot of really great partnerships and affiliations, and it's just we're grateful. We're grateful. And before I get on another rant about being grateful, Erika, what is today's episode about?
We are talking about Zheng Yi. She was the pirate queen of the South China Sea in the early 1800s.
Oh.
Very cool. So there's not a whole lot known about her like early life. They think she was born in 1775. But the first like record of her is she was a sex worker on a brothel boat. They used to call them like flower boats. And the legend that they tell about this story is that a pirate, like the brothel was captured by a pirate ship. He took all the women on board, bound their hands, and was so taken by her beauty that he unbound her, and she flew at him trying to gouge out his eyes, and he fell madly in love with her. Which I honestly, if ever there was an origin story,
amazing.
But what actually happened is that he had been a customer of hers for a really long time, and they ended up falling in love and getting married. And from all, like, the sources I read, like, they genuinely did like each other. Like, they genuinely seemed to be in love and cared very deeply for each other. Now,
If I'm reading this right, he was also a pirate captain.
yes, he was a pirate
If I'm
captain.
reading this right.
Yeah, so the whole
Okay.
so they get married, and in the marriage, he had like a small like fleet, right? And part of their marriage contract is that she had equal stake in power and the finances. So she was an equal partner in every sense of the word. And I think they were only married for like 7 years or something. However, he had a boy toy on the side, which love that for him.
Absolutely.
Who he ended up making a lieutenant, and also his adopted son, which is weird. So also she ended up having 2 sons, and I don't know who the baby daddy of that is. That will become clear in a minute. So her husband dies by falling off the side of his ship in a storm. And she's like, all right,
Wow.
bet, I got this. So she takes over, and in order to sort of like, the only other person that could challenge her is the boy toy son lieutenant. So she seduces him, husband's boy toy, also adopted son. Allegedly they did that to sort of like secure like an heir, but also she had 2 sons. So I don't know if he was the father of those 2 sons or if her first husband was the father of those 2 sons. Anyway, she seduces him and they end up getting married later. But he doesn't really she is the leader of this whole thing.
Okay.
She really only like rules for maybe 10 years, but she like by the time she retires, she had over 400 ships and over 60,000 pirates under her control. Which is insane. Yeah.
Yeah, this is also saying that at her peak, she commanded over 1,800 ships and between 70 to 80,000 pirates, including men, women, and children.
Yes.
So, like,
yeah.
I mean, retirement, shit, that's incredible.
Yeah.
The fact that, first of all, the fact that she was able to retire from being a pirate in the first place.
Yeah, most pirates do not retire; they die.
Right.
And also, did you watch? I'm sure you did. Pirates of the Caribbean, which people talk shit about that movie. I love that movie the way that most people our age love the Twilight books. I fucking love those movies so much.
First of all, I'm such a fucking nerd that I love all of those movies, but we also did Pirates of the Caribbean for marching band when I was a sophomore, and I can still play that shit on the saxophone. Like my life depended on it. I love that shit. So, send it.
You played the saxophone?
Nerd alert. Girl! I started off on the flute, then I moved to the saxophone, then I played the soprano sax for jazz band for a little bit, played the piano, I played the tuba for a minute. I'm a fucking nerd, man. I love that shit.
Are you really good with your mouth and breath work?
Welcome. Never have I been complimented so well in one sentence.
one thing,
Oh.
this is a total side note. I was at work today, and because of how we talk on this podcast, I have gotten a lot funnier, and I've gotten a lot more, like, willing to, like, say things out loud that I wouldn't have done before.
More liberal. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this one wasn't bad. Some guy, he was talking about how Crocs are, like, the best footwear, and one of my coworkers was like, respectfully, I disagree. And I was like, I disrespectfully disagree.
Oh, yep.
I was also talking to
Yep.
the same coworker, and I was like, ugh. I was like, I have so many hobbies because I don't want to be alone with my thoughts for a single second. And he was like, oh, yeah, me neither. That sounds awful. And our sweet, innocent coworker was like, wow, that's really dark. And I was like, well, oops.
All right, you innocent individual.
I know.
Try to live inside my head.
I know. He's like, I'm alone all the time, and I think it's fine. I was like, not all of us are well-adjusted. Some of us need therapy. Get out of here with that.
Sorry, not all of us are healed, except Erika.
Not all of us had
I
good
don't actually do
parents,
that.
okay?
So.
I'm so healed.
Oh, I'm never going to let you live that down.
Nor
first
should
of
you,
all.
if we're being honest. Because
Second
if
of
you
all-
did that shit, I would be like,
Called out.
who
But also-
do you
also-
think you are?
You are also correct in that we support each other's delusions. And I realized this after our phone call yesterday or the day before, whatever fucking phone call. But I can't remember what we were talking about specifically, but it had, obviously one of us was talking about some shit. And the other person was like, yes, exactly, absolutely. And it had to have been the most unhinged shit.
Oh, 100%.
And I felt so supported and so excited about whatever the fuck it was that I was talking about. And we got off the phone and I was like, oh my God, we are fucking delusional. Because a friend who had their head screwed on straight would be like, Sarah, I need you to go drink some water and I need you to go the fuck home. It's 9:30 p.m.
To be fair.
Like, what are you still doing working at the podcast? Like,
to be fair, if when we learn how to drink water and eat enough protein, we're going to be unstoppable. We would be too strong. So we have to handicap ourselves.
Let's make a list. Because we're good at that. Drink enough water.
At making lists.
Eat enough protein.
Lose the list.
At least it's not two sticky notes stuck together.
That's true. I do use sticky notes, but not for that. Jesus.
Yeah. So drink enough water, eat enough protein, aka healthier diet.
Yeah.
Because we're both bad at that. A better exercise routine, taking our medication at the prescribed time that's best for our bodies, and therapy. Regular therapy sessions. If we hit all 5 of those pillars, we would own the fucking world. We would own it.
We would be too
People
strong.
would be paying tariffs to us.
Yes. I mean, honestly.
We
We owe it to the world. It would only be fair to everyone else to handicap ourselves.
That's correct. You're welcome for us having a slight handicap.
Yeah, basically. You're welcome, Tian.
I also took an Adderall today and Primal Queen on time, 3 energy drinks and mushroom coffee. I have gotten so many things done, and then I got home and I started working on like 15 things. I'm like, I got to do laundry. I got to pack for this weekend. I want to get all this stuff done. By the time Erika and I jumped on the recording, I couldn't function. I was just stalled for 12 seconds standing in basically where I'm standing right now. And I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, I should probably turn off the music because the music was blasting, obviously. But I should probably turn off the music. Oh, I should probably also hook up my headphones. And then, there's all these things that I had to walk myself through the steps where the rest of today I was functioning at like 110%. The rest of the day. But as soon as I got to like that point where you and I were about to record, my brain just shut off. And I don't know why.
Yeah. I get that way too sometimes. That's how I was all day because I didn't take my ADHD medication.
Ugh.
I got a lot of shit done though. I really did. I was just chaotic about it.
True.
Also, side note.
I do want to...
Have you...
This is a good break.
Sorry.
I do want to... What?
Oh, have you tried the new Red Bull flavor? The white peach
The one that you had me try in Kansas City?
The white peach one? The pink one.
Yeah.
Yes. First of all, I don't remember anything. It's my favorite flavor right now. I had one today.
You're telling me you don't remember one of the greatest weekends of my life?
Oh, no, I remember it. I just don't remember the details. I just remember vague vibes. I remember you. I just don't remember the details. The things I remember and don't remember are insane.
Yeah, I get that. There have been moments this week that I've like, last week especially, that little details from the event will pop into my head that I'm like, oh, I need to write that down. Oh my God, I need to remember that. Oh,
like,
anyway.
Do I remember?
This is a good.
Oh, go. We're going. We're continuing.
This is a good transition point. One of the promos that we recorded at Lit and Libations is with Coda. He is, I think, a shop manager for Since and Suede dispensary. I think he said that they have several locations in Kansas City and St. Louis. So give a listen to Coda and go support their business.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Lit and Libations. My name's Coda. I'm actually with Since and Suede. We have 5 locations out here in the KC area and 6 in St. Louis. Definitely check us out. We got our new deli service and faster delivery times now available here in Kansas City. It's definitely worth checking out. Thank you guys so much and have a great rest of your time.
Now that we're
Okay.
back on track. When she retired, this is probably one of my favorite things about her. She retired. She basically walked into the city of, it's like Zheng, I can't pronounce it. I'm doing my best. She walks into the city surrounded by women and children. No men, because she doesn't need no man. She's a strong, independent woman. And essentially is like, I'm going to retire, and also you need to pay me because I'm doing you a huge favor. And everyone was like, ooh, okay. And then she set up a gambling house and just ran it until the day she died. She was just like, this is and they never did anything to her about it. She was just like, fucking try me. And they didn't.
That's awesome.
I know.
That's awesome.
I know.
One thing I read was that she enforced like rigid laws as the pirate queen. One of them is immediate execution for disobedience or stealing from the common plunder. Another one is, which I'm personally a fan of, pirates who raped female captives were executed.
I saw that one. I was like, that's
Consensual
great.
relationships, right? Consensual relationships were regulated, so pirates could marry prisoners, but mistreatment meant death. And then loot had to be turned in, registered, and then redistributed because hoarding treasure was punishable by death. I really like her. A whole lot.
Yes. Like, fucking rad. Also, this is what happened when women are in charge, okay? Fairness. Okay?
Yep.
Literally
looks like-
every single war has been started by a man. I don't want to hear anything.
That's a fact, people. That's a fact. It also, what I looked up was that her pirates used smaller, faster ships with expert knowledge of coastal waters and guerrilla tactics and used that to their advantage. So a couple of the foes that they defeated was the British Royal Navy and the Portuguese Navy. They tried and they failed. And then the I'm going to say
the East India Company as well.
the East India Trading Company. Yes. Jack Sparrow.
Yes.
Yes. Oh. Yeah. Let's see. She was mistress. So speaking of Pirates of the Caribbean, this pirate queen was an inspired character for Mistress Ching in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. And that's dope. That's dope. I didn't know that before going into the conversation about Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh,
I just saw
that
it
was
scrolling
the
through
point
this. I'm like,
that I was
oh.
going to make, and I just forgot. See, this is the things I remember.
This is why we do this.
Yeah. Do I remember the dress that Trisha Otis was wearing during Lit and Libations? Absolutely, I do. Do I remember,
Yes.
like, what shoes I was wearing? No.
I also don't remember what shoes you were wearing.
See?
I remember mine.
Yeah, because yours were super cute.
Correct. Let's wrap this before I pass out. My
Correct.
brain is slowing function.
Okay. All right. That's it for us, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being here. We survived Lit and Libations. Not that it was bad, but it was exhausting. And I'm so glad we did it. We will be at the next one. But damn, it was a lot of work. And we got a record in person, which was so great because we're so fucking funny. God, we're funny. Anyway.
Correct.
If you love us, which you obviously should, you can join our Discord. We have a book club in there. It's great. We always pick amazing books by independent authors. Like us on all of the socials. We're Living Understaffed podcast, a variation of those things. You can support us with our affiliates, Primal Queen and Everyday Dose Mushroom Coffee. We are doing so many good things, and it's all because of you guys who listen to us and give us feedback and all of that stuff. We love you so much. Without you, we would be behind you, boy.
Woo!
Scene.
Hell and scene. Hell yeah.
That was one of my best outros I've done in a
Oh my
while.
God.